A retired military Doberman served 6 years on the force. When they let him go, 3 officers refused to take him home. They said he was a machine. No emotion, no affection, no tail wag. Then a night shift worker who hadn't spoken to another person in 7 months took him in. What this 95-pound dog did when his owner disappeared for 3 days will change everything you think you know about loyalty. He wasn't trained to love. He was trained to work. Sit, stay, search, detain, release. For 6 years, that was his entire world. No couch, no belly rubs, no one calling his name just to say hello. Just commands, kennels, and the next mission. His name was Axel, a 95-pound black and tan Doberman who served 6 years with the Marion County Sheriff's Department in Indiana. Badge number K217. He cleared buildings, tracked suspects, and once held a man twice his size pinned against a warehouse wall for 14 minutes until backup arrived. He was efficient, disciplined, and completely emotionless. At least that's what everyone believed. When Axel turned 8, they retired him. Not because he failed, because his joints were slowing down and department policy required it. They gave him a certificate, took a photo, and that was it. 6 years of service reduced to a piece of paper and a pat on the head. The department tried to rehome him. 3 officers passed. Too rigid, they said. Doesn't play, doesn't cuddle, doesn't wag his tail. Just stands at the door and waits for a command that never comes. He's not a pet, his former handler told the rehoming coordinator. He's a machine. A good one, but a machine. Axel sat in the department's transitional kennel for 4 months. No one came. Then Marcus showed up. Marcus was 36, divorced, no kids, worked the 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. shift at a distribution warehouse 25 minutes outside Indianapolis. He slept during the day, ate dinner at midnight, and hadn't had a real conversation with another human outside of work in about 7 months. His ex-wife once told him he had the emotional range of a parking meter. He didn't argue. He wasn't looking for a dog. He was dropping off a package for his buddy who worked at the sheriff's department. He saw Axel through the kennel window, standing at the door, perfectly still, staring straight ahead at nothing. "What's he waiting for?" Marcus asked. "Honestly, we don't know. He's been doing that since the day he got here." Marcus looked at Axel. Axel looked at Marcus. Neither of them moved. Neither of them made a sound. "Yeah, I get it," Marcus said. He signed the papers the next morning. The first week was the strangest thing Marcus had ever experienced. Axel didn't play, he didn't bark, he didn't sniff around the house or explore. He walked in, scanned every room like he was clearing a building, then sat by the front door and didn't move. Marcus put food down. Axel ate at exactly the same time each day. Marcus put a bed in the living room. Axel slept on the floor next to it. Marcus turned on the TV. Axel watched it without blinking, like he was gathering intelligence. "You're the weirdest roommate I've ever had," Marcus told him, "and I lived with a guy who ate cereal with water." But here's the thing about 2 quiet people living together. Sometimes silence isn't awkward. Sometimes it's just comfortable. Marcus would come home at 6:30 a.m. Axel would be standing at the door, not wagging, not barking, just standing. Marcus would nod. Axel would nod, or at least that's what it looked like, and they'd both go to sleep. Marcus slept during the day. Axel slept during the day. Marcus was awake all night. Axel was awake all night. They ate together at midnight. They watched late-night TV together. They sat on the porch at 3 a.m. listening to absolutely nothing, and somehow that was enough. Marcus's neighbor Deborah, a retired school principal with opinions about everything, watched this routine for 3 weeks before she finally said something. "Marcus, that dog doesn't do anything. Neither do I. You two are the most boring pair I've ever seen. Thank you." But something was changing. Small things, things only Marcus noticed. Axel started waiting at the door 10 minutes before Marcus usually got home, then 20, then 30 minutes. He started following Marcus to the kitchen, then to the couch, then one night, about 2 months in, Marcus was sitting on the porch at 2 a.m. and Axel walked out, sat down beside him, and for the first time, leaned his weight against Marcus's leg. Just leaned. That was it.
95 pounds of retired military discipline pressing gently against a man who hadn't been touched by another living thing in 7 months. Marcus didn't move. He didn't want to scare him off. He just sat there, feeling the warmth, and whispered, "Took you long enough."
Now look, if you're still here and haven't hit subscribe, I'm not gonna lie, that stings. We put our hearts into every one of these. Subscribe now, because what comes next is why this story matters. It was a Thursday in November. Marcus left for his shift at 9:45 p.m. Axel was at the door, watching him go like always. At 4:12 a.m., Marcus's truck hit black ice on Route 37. He swerved, clipped a guardrail, and rolled into a ditch. Broken collarbone, fractured wrist, concussion. He spent 2 days in the hospital before they even let him call anyone. Nobody thought to check on the dog. When Marcus's coworker finally went to the house on day 2, he found Axel at the front door, standing. Not sitting, standing. The food bowl Marcus had filled before leaving was untouched. The water bowl was full. Axel hadn't eaten, hadn't drunk, hadn't moved from that spot. "I tried to get him to eat," the coworker told Marcus on the phone. "He wouldn't even look at me. He just kept staring at the door." Day 3, Deborah came over. She brought steak. Real steak. She put it right under Axel's nose. He turned his head away and went back to staring at the door. "Marcus," Deborah called him from the hospital, "this dog hasn't moved in 3 days. He's not eating, he's not drinking, he's just waiting for you." Marcus checked himself out against medical advice that afternoon. When his buddy's car pulled into the driveway, Axel was standing at the door. Same spot, same posture. 3 days of nothing, and he hadn't moved an inch. Marcus opened the door. He knelt down, one arm in a sling, face bruised, moving slow. And for the first time in his life, Axel wagged his tail. Not a big wag, not a full body wiggle, just a slow, steady sweep. Left, right, left, right. His ears dropped, his body softened, and he walked forward and pressed his head into Marcus's chest and stayed there. Marcus wrapped his good arm around him and didn't say anything for a long time. Deborah was standing at the fence, wiping her eyes. "I thought you said that dog doesn't do anything." "He doesn't," Marcus said, his voice cracking. "He just waits." Today, Marcus is 38. Axel is 10. His joints are slower now. He can't run like he used to, but every night at 9:45, he walks Marcus to the door. And every morning at 6:30, he's standing in the same spot, waiting. He spent 6 years following orders, but he chose to wait for Marcus on his own. Some dogs are trained to protect, some are trained to serve, but no one trained Axel to love. He figured that out himself. Is this loyalty or is this love? Would you wait 3 days for someone who couldn't tell you he was coming back? Tell me in the comments.